I remember the first time I felt it, an undeniable sense that there was something deeper within me, something that wasn't confined to the physical world. It happened during a quiet moment, sitting alone, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The colors of the sky painted a picture of a universe far greater than my limited understanding. For the first time, I realized that I was not just the person I had been conditioned to believe I was. I was something far more profound, far more infinite. This is where your journey begins, too, understanding that you are not simply the roles you play or the physical body you inhabit. You are a radiant spirit, an eternal being of light temporarily dressed in a human costume. Perhaps, just like me, you felt an unsettling pull in your heart, this quiet whisper urging you to awaken to your true essence. For years, many of us have ignored this call, distracted by the noise of our everyday lives. But now, more than ever, the world is shifting, and with it, you too are being called to awaken. This isn't just about finding a sense of peace or purpose. It's about remembering who you truly are beneath all the layers, beneath the fear, beneath the expectations of society. You are pure spirit, and it's time to embrace that truth with open arms. In this journey, you'll discover that everything you've ever needed lies within you. It's not something you can buy, achieve, or even find externally. It's a light that's been there all along, waiting for you to turn inward and recognize it. The time has come to shed the illusion of separation and live in the knowing that you are not just part of this world, you are one with it. The earth has shifted a new era of consciousness. It was a regular morning when I first noticed it, a shift in the energy, a subtle change that rippled through the atmosphere. It wasn't anything overt, nothing you could easily put into words, but I felt it deep in my bones. You've likely felt it too. The world is not as it once was. There's a quiet transformation unfolding, and it's happening within and around us all. We are entering a new era of consciousness, and you, yes you, are a key part of this transformation. For centuries, humanity has been trapped in a limited perspective, seeing the world as separate, divided, and disconnected. But now, there's a powerful awakening taking place. More and more people are beginning to realize that there's something beyond the material world, something spiritual that connects us all. The earth, in its infinite wisdom, has shifted to a higher frequency, and those of us who are open to it can feel this change in our own lives. This awakening isn't about some grand, flashy event. It's subtle, quiet, and personal. I remember the first time I truly began to notice it. It wasn't a dramatic revelation. It was the simple moments when I would walk through nature and everything felt alive. I began to hear the whispers of the universe in the wind, in the rustling of the trees, and in the soft hum of life. This is the new consciousness. It's a movement from division to unity, from fear to love, and from illusion to truth. And you, as someone who feels the pull of this awakening, have been chosen to witness and contribute to this profound shift. Your role in this new era is crucial. This isn't just about personal growth. It's about stepping into a collective mission to help elevate humanity's consciousness. You are the light bearers, the ones who can guide others to see the world through a more spiritual lens, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life, understanding the human costume. Not long ago, I found myself looking in the mirror, seeing the person I had become over the years, someone I'd identified with so deeply, yet who felt so distant from my true self. The more I stared, the more I realized that the reflection before me wasn't the real me. It was simply a human costume, a mask I wore to navigate through life, to interact with the world and learn the lessons my soul had come to experience. This body, these thoughts, this personality, none of it defines me at my core. It's all a temporary vessel, a costume that I wear to experience the world through human eyes. The true me, the eternal, unchanging part of me, is the spirit within. And when I started to shift my perspective and see myself as spirit first, rather than human, everything began to make sense. I no longer saw my life as something to survive, but as a beautiful experience designed for growth and transformation. In truth, we are all wearing human costumes. We may look the same to one another, but our souls, our true essence, are vastly different. These physical bodies are not permanent, they are temporary, and yet they carry immense value. Without this costume, we wouldn't be able to learn the lessons we've come here to experience. Every moment, every interaction, every challenge is an opportunity for the soul to grow. And when we remember this, when we truly understand that the body is not who we are freed from the limitations we once thought were set in stone. Your body is your vehicle, your temporary home, and your teacher. It's where your spirit plays out its earthly experiences. But the real you is timeless, boundless, and free. It's time to let go of the identification with the costume and start seeing yourself as the infinite being you truly are, discovering your light within. I'll never forget the moment I first truly felt my light. It wasn't a sudden burst of radiance, but rather a quiet knowing that filled me from the inside out. I had been meditating, just sitting in stillness, when the realization hit me: I am light. I am not just a body, not just a collection of experiences, but pure light, pure energy flowing through a human form. This moment changed everything. It was as if I had been walking in darkness, and suddenly I could see. That light, the one that you too can feel within you, is your essence. It is the spark of divinity that resides at your core. It is the part of you that is untouchable by time, unaffected by the external world, and eternally connected to the greater source. When you begin to tune into this light, when you recognize that it has always been within you, everything begins to shift. You start to see the world differently, not as a place of fear or separation, but as a realm where you are deeply interconnected with all that is. So how do you discover this light? It starts with presence. The more present you are in your life, the more you can feel your spirit's subtle energy. It is not something that can be seen with the physical eyes, but it can be felt with your heart. It is the peace you experience in the quiet moments, the joy that arises when you are fully in the moment, and the deep connection you feel when you are in nature or with those who truly see you. In those moments, you are connecting with your light. And when you begin to cultivate this connection, when you remember who you truly are, you begin to radiate that light out into the world. The more you embrace it, the more it grows, and the more you inspire others to find their own light. Navigating human challenges as a spiritual being. I remember a particularly tough season of my life. Everything seemed to be falling apart: relationships, career, health. It felt like one challenge after another, and I found myself questioning everything. But during this time, something remarkable happened. I had an experience that forever changed how I viewed difficulties. Instead of fighting against the circumstances, I allowed myself to simply sit with them, to feel the discomfort without trying to avoid it. And in that space of acceptance, I felt a quiet voice inside whisper, "This is part of your journey. This is where you grow." That realization shifted my entire perspective. Life's challenges, I realized, weren't obstacles to avoid but opportunities to grow. You see, as spiritual beings having a human experience, challenges are not here to break us, but to strengthen our soul. Every hardship carries with it a lesson, a chance to evolve, to stretch our capacity for compassion, patience, and resilience. When we approach challenges as opportunities for growth, they no longer feel like burdens. Instead, they become stepping stones on the path to enlightenment. Take a moment and think about a challenge you've recently faced. Did it feel overwhelming? Did it make you question your strength or your path? Now, imagine looking at that same challenge from a higher perspective. What if it wasn't here to bring you down, but to build you up? What if this was exactly the lesson your soul needed to learn in order to evolve? This shift in perception is a powerful tool. When we understand that every experience is an opportunity for spiritual growth, we begin to move through life with a sense of grace and trust, knowing that we are being guided every step of the way. The spiritual tools you need to master. Not long ago, I found myself struggling with a constant feeling of disconnection. I was living life on autopilot, getting through each day without feeling truly present. I knew I was meant for more, but I just couldn't seem to find the right path. That's when a dear friend introduced me to the practice of meditation. At first, I resisted. My mind was too busy, too cluttered, but something in me told me to keep going. So I made a commitment. Each morning I sat in stillness for just 10 minutes. At first, my thoughts raced and I couldn't sit still. But over time, the practice began to shift something within me. I began to experience moments of deep peace, a quiet stillness that didn't come from the world around me, but from within. It was as if I had unlocked a secret door to my true self, one that had always been there, but I had never known how to access. Meditation became my spiritual tool, a way to reconnect with my soul. It is one of the most powerful tools we can use to tune into our higher selves, but it's not the only one. There are other tools like mindfulness, journaling, prayer, and even creative expression that allow us to stay grounded and aligned with our spiritual essence. These practices help us create space in our busy lives for the deeper, subtler energies that guide us. Each of these tools serves as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. They allow us to navigate the chaos of life without losing sight of our true essence. If you're feeling lost or disconnected, I encourage you to explore these tools. Start with one, whether it's meditation, prayer, or simply taking a walk in nature, and see how it shifts your energy. You might just find that it opens the door to a new world within you. Balancing human needs with spiritual desires. There was a time in my life when I felt torn. On one side, there was the world demanding my attention, work, responsibilities, relationships. On the other, there was this deep, unspoken desire within me to live a life aligned with my spiritual truth. I wanted to meditate more, to practice mindfulness, to connect with the divine. But the demands of the physical world seemed to pull me in the opposite direction. I remember sitting in my car one evening after a long, exhausting day, wondering how I could possibly balance both. That night, I had an epiphany. I realized that I didn't have to choose between the two. My spiritual life wasn't separate from my human life. It was meant to be integrated. The key was finding harmony between the two. The material world wasn't an obstacle to my spiritual growth. It was a playground where I could practice what I was learning. Whether I was washing dishes, meeting deadlines, or spending time with loved ones, each moment could be infused with intention, presence, and gratitude. For example, instead of seeing my work as a distraction, I started to approach it as a spiritual practice. I began to view it as an opportunity to serve, to bring light to the environment, to practice patience and compassion. I learned to infuse each task with mindfulness, to focus on the present moment, and to recognize that every action, no matter how mundane, was an expression of my inner truth. This shift in mindset allowed me to live in harmony with both my spiritual and human needs. Balancing these two aspects of life isn't about perfection. It's about integration. It's about recognizing that both the spiritual and the human are important, and that we don't have to abandon one to honor the other. We can live fully in both worlds, each enriching and deepening the other, connecting with the divine and universal energy. I'll never forget the first time I truly felt connected to something greater than myself. It happened unexpectedly on a quiet evening while I was sitting in meditation. I had no expectations, just an open heart seeking connection. And then it happened. A wave of peace and love washed over me, and I felt as though I was no longer separate from the universe. I was one with everything, the trees, the stars, the people I loved, and even those I didn't know. It was as if time and space ceased to exist. In that moment, I realized that I was always connected to the divine energy that flows through all of life. This experience wasn't just a one-time event. It was a glimpse into a reality that is always present, but often overlooked. The divine and universal energy is not something far away or separate from us. It is within us, surrounding us, and flowing through every aspect of our being. Connecting with this energy is as simple as quieting the mind and opening the heart. You may be wondering, how can I connect with this divine energy? It starts with presence. Take a moment right now to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to be still. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, and the subtle energy within. This is the divine presence, the energy that connects you to the universe. It's always there, waiting for you to notice. When you align with this universal energy, you begin to live from a place of flow. You stop fighting against the current of life and start moving with it. You trust that the universe is guiding you, supporting you, and that everything is happening for your highest good. This connection isn't something you have to work for. It's a remembering, a rediscovery of your inherent oneness with the divine. And once you reconnect, you'll find that life takes on a new depth, a new meaning. And every moment becomes an opportunity to experience the divine presence within and around you, the impact of your light on the world. I'll never forget a moment that changed the way I saw my own presence in the world. It was during a casual conversation with a stranger, someone I just met in a coffee shop. As we talked about life, they suddenly said, "There's something about you, you just radiate peace. I don't know what it is, but I feel calmer when I'm around you." I was taken aback. At that moment, I realized that we are all constantly affecting the world around us, whether we realize it or not. We each carry a light within us, and that light doesn't just benefit us, it impacts everyone we encounter. Your light, the essence of who you are, has the power to touch lives in ways you may never fully understand. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic acts of kindness, though those are important too. It's in the subtle energy you radiate, the way you listen deeply, the way you show up with authenticity and compassion. Your energy, your presence, is a form of healing in itself. When you are aligned with your true self, that energy flows freely, touching everyone and everything around you. You may not always see the direct impact you have, but I can assure you it's there. Think back to a time when someone's presence shifted your own state of being. Maybe it was a quiet moment of connection or a shared smile from a stranger. That moment was a reflection of their light, and your light has the same power to create ripples in the world. The more you embrace your inner light, the more it will naturally illuminate the lives of those around you, creating a ripple effect of love, peace, and understanding. As you move through your day, remember that your light matters. The simple act of being yourself, authentic, present, and connected to your higher self, can make all the difference. You don't have to do anything extraordinary, simply being who you are is enough. And when you let your light shine, you become a beacon for others, guiding them to their own truth. Spiritual resilience, navigating life with courage and grace. Life has a way of throwing challenges our way, doesn't it? I remember a time when it felt like everything in my life was unraveling. Relationships were strained, career plans were falling apart, and I felt like I was losing my grip on what mattered most. In the midst of this chaos, I had to remind myself of something essential. I am resilient. I am more than just the circumstances around me. I am spirit, and that spirit is unbreakable. Spiritual resilience is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about facing adversity with courage and grace, knowing that each challenge is a part of our soul's evolution. Resilience is the ability to bend but not break, to fall but rise again with greater strength. It's about finding inner peace amidst external chaos and trusting that everything is unfolding for your highest good. I learned this when I hit rock bottom, and instead of crumbling under the weight of it, I chose to see it as an opportunity to grow stronger in my faith and trust in the universe. In those moments of struggle, it's easy to feel powerless. But remember, true resilience doesn't come from fighting against life's storms. It comes from aligning with the flow of life, surrendering to the process, and trusting that you are always supported. When you tap into your spiritual essence, you realize that you are never truly alone, that you are part of a greater whole, and that every experience is an opportunity for growth. So, how do you build spiritual resilience? It starts with self-awareness and self-compassion. It's about giving yourself grace when things go wrong, knowing that you don't need to have everything figured out. It's about trusting that you have the strength within to handle whatever comes your way, and leaning into your spiritual practices to stay grounded and centered. The more you align with your true self, the more resilient you become, and the easier it is to navigate the storms of life with courage and grace. The chosen one's mission in the world. I've often wondered why some of us feel this deep sense of purpose, this knowing that we are here for something greater. Growing up, I felt out of place in many ways, as if I was waiting for a moment to finally understand why I was different. It wasn't until much later that I realized something profound. The feeling of being chosen wasn't just a random thought, it was a calling. You too may feel this pull, this sense that you have a unique mission in the world. This is because, as a chosen one, your soul has been called to fulfill a higher purpose. Being a chosen one doesn't mean you are better than others. It means that you have been entrusted with the responsibility of helping elevate the collective consciousness. Your mission is to awaken, to understand your spiritual essence fully, and to share that understanding with the world. This may take many forms, whether it's through healing, teaching, creating, or simply living authentically. The key is to recognize that you are a part of something much larger than yourself, and that the work you are doing is essential for the awakening of humanity. This mission is not always easy. There will be times when you feel isolated, misunderstood, or burdened by the weight of it all. But know this, you are not alone. There are others like you, and together, we form a network of light that is here to guide and uplift the world. Your unique talents, your experiences, your voice, these are all pieces of the puzzle that the universe is assembling to create a new, more enlightened world. So how do you step into your mission? It starts by embracing your calling, by listening to the quiet whispers of your soul, and trusting that you are being guided every step of the way. It's about aligning with your higher self and using your gifts to serve others, knowing that in doing so, you are fulfilling your purpose and contributing to the greater good. Conclusion: walking in your light with courage. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and reflect on the truth that has always been within you. You are light. You are not the roles you play, the challenges you face, or the fears that have held you back. You are an eternal spirit, radiating love, wisdom, and peace. The time has come to walk in that light with courage and confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Walking in your light is not about perfection. It's about showing up authentically, embracing both your light and your shadows, and allowing yourself to be fully human while knowing that your true essence is divine. It's about living in alignment with your highest truth and trusting that every step you take is a part of your soul's journey. The road ahead may not always be easy, and there will be times when you doubt yourself or question your path. But remember, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and every challenge, every triumph, every lesson is a part of your unfolding. You are resilient, you are capable, and you are here to make a difference. So, as you move forward, hold your light high. Let it guide you and let it illuminate the path for others. The world needs your light now more than ever. And when you walk in your light with courage, you not only transform your own life, but you also help transform the world around you. You are the beacon of hope, love, and truth that others are searching for. Keep shining and trust that your light is exactly what the world needs.